Hello, in this lesson you'll learn about the if and if-else statements. So let's start, let's put this down, we don't need it for now. So let's create a variable x, type integer, and let's do a scanf for this variable. Now, we don't know yet what the value for x. The user is going to input the value, so we don't know it. But I want to, in case x is bigger than 2, I want to run a specific code. In case it equals to 2, I want to run a different code. And in case it's less than 2, I want to run another code. How do I do this? For this we write if, and between parentheses we write the condition. So let's start with x bigger than 2. We open and close brackets. And what's going to happen is, if x is bigger than 2, all the codes between these brackets will run. So let's write a printf, x is bigger than 2. Okay, so now let's write a if statement for x equals to 2. As you can see, I wrote the equal sign 2 times. You have to do that whenever you're comparing something. If you're comparing two variables, if comparing a variable with a value, etc. If you are just assign a value to x, for example, you just write once the equal sign. But if you are comparing, you have to write it 2 times. Now open and close brackets and write print f x equals 2. Okay, so what's left is what if x is less than 2. In this case, x is not bigger than 2, x does not equal 2, so we just need else. So we write printf x is less than 2. So we could also write else if, and the condition x less than 2, and it will be the same. But in this case we don't need it, because if x is not bigger than 2, if it's not equal to, if it doesn't equal 2, then it's less than 2. So we just need to write else. Okay, so now let's erase this and apply what we just learned to our calculator. So what will be nice here is to have a menu that lets the user choose what operation he wants to do. If he wants to multiply, if he wants to divide the numbers, if he wants to add or subtract. So let's create another variable called option, and let's make a menu. We do a printf, write menu, menu, we change the line, and we write the first option, add 2 numbers. We change the line, write the second option, subtract, and change the line, change the line, third option, multiply, and change the line, fourth option, divide. Okay, so a menu will be shown to the user, and now we have to do the scanf for the option that the user will choose. So scanf %d. Now we'll put this sign and the variable option. So the user will choose between a number between 1 to 4, and you'll write that number, and that number will be stored in the option variable. Then you'll ask for the first value and the second value for the operation, and now we can do our if statements. So what's the first situation? If you want to add 2 numbers, then we write here option equals 1 which corresponds to the option add two numbers. We open brackets, close, and we do result equals to A plus B. So the user chooses the first option, he inputs the number 1, the number 1 goes to the variable option, and here we check if the choice was the number 1 by comparing the variable option with the value 1. If it is, we'll make the addition of A with B and put the results in the variable results, and then we print the result. Result equals %d. Now we put the variable result. So now we just have to do the same for the other options. For now we'll just do a copy paste and change what we need to change, though I don't advise to do a copy paste many times because it'll bring most likely errors. So subtract is the second option, and the third option is to multiply. To multiply, write an asterisk. We have to change here to the third option. And the fourth option and final one is to divide. So fourth option, to divide we make a bar, and we have all the options. Now let's run the program and see what happens. So we have our menu. Let's, for example, choose multiply. Let's choose our first number 2 and the second number 30, and the result is 60 as expected. So that was it for now. The next lesson will improve even more this calculator. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. See you on the next lesson. Bye.